Welcome back, Building Sack here, and today we are going to be making a DIY motorized bike. And in my case, I'm using a weed eater. However, you could use a chainsaw or any sort of small engine. So I will take you through how to make it and what you will need to do this. Okay, so as I said before, I'm using a weed eater for this. So what you're going to start out by doing is taking off the control handle. So it's pretty straightforward. You just take off the screws, and they'll be in different places for different ones. But so that's why I didn't show that. But next we're gonna take off these screws all the way around here, and that should get us to the clutch and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off. And as for the bike, this is my bike. It has a disc brake on the back, and how I'm going to connect the motor is I'm going to actually take this brake off and put a piece of metal right here and bolt it up to this platform up here, and the motor will sit on that, and then it's also going to connect to this bar right here. Okay, so it's the next day, and I've been brainstorming a lot of ideas for ways that this could work. And so what I did is I had to cut off these the plastic around the clutch. So my idea is that the wheel will sit on this little thing that comes out, and as the engine spins, it'll just it'll turn the wheel. So now all I have to do is figure out a way to connect it to the bike. Okay, so for my vertical support, I'm going to take my brake off. And it's just because I have these two mounts right here. On a normal bike though, you should have a bunch of holes up in here. And for this you could just bolt the vertical support on. But in my case, I have to do it this way because there are no holes down here. So I'm going to get a piece of angle iron and bolt it on here, and then I'll show you how we're gonna mount it. So I was on my way home from school and I saw this bike. So I figured I'd use it instead of my good bike. So this is just the beginning of the holder for the motor. So what I have here is just 3 U-bolts. See, so they just hook on that pull down there. And then it extends out 8 inches. By the way, this is 4 inches across. Then I have a hinge, and it's bolted on, so then this will hold the engine. So then when you want to put more weight on it, you can adjust it with the adjuster that I have. And I'll show you that. But so this is just where I am. Okay, so this is the platform the engine will sit on. And then this is the rear support. It's a turnbuckle. It is 10 inches, I think. And then underneath, I just have a piece of angle iron with pre-drilled holes, so I didn't have to use my drill. So then the engine will just sit on here. I'll probably have to reinforce this over here though, because it's very bendy. So I'm gonna put the engine on and then reinforce that, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's a couple months later, and I got the engine put on. So I had to add a little reinforcement here, and then how I put the engine on is I put bolts through the housing of this and then just use some more U-bolts to bolt them to the bottom. That bothers me so much, but it's the only way I could do it because it's not threaded up here. So that'll have to work. Just got the on and off switch, the fuel tank. So here's what I ended up doing. This I just have on there. I need to move it closer to the tire. Because I put on and I'll turn the engine on and it'll just slide right back over. So I think I need to just tighten the bolts maybe a little bit more. And I also need to rough this up because it's not grabbing on the tire, and I can show you that in a second. So I will get it started and I'll show you. Okay, so I got it running. The clutch is on the tire. And I'll go full throttle with it. But I'm not even on the bike, and it's not even moving. So basically all I need to do is put some kind of grip on the clutch so it actually grabs the tire. And then it might work a little bit better. But as for now, in the winter, it's not even going to work much. So I'll do a follow-up video in the spring